Hey, what's up, Roxstars? It's Rox, and I'm coming to you today with a review for Greenleaf Season 4, Episode 6, I believe. 5 or 6. I can't look on my phone to check, and I didn't write it down, but it'll be right on the screen, you guys. Oh, this episode was so good. Oh, my God. It was so fucking good. I mean, I haven't been this excited about something, since I used to watch, like, Young and the Restless. Like, the type of carrying on. It was so much. I mean, it was all kind of things that just made me go, oh, and it made me get mad, and it made me smile, and it made me laugh. I mean, it was all of that. It was such a good episode. I'm glad I didn't watch it last night because I would have been wound up. Because after I finished watching it this morning, I was so hyped up and wound up. Mr. was asleep next to me, and I was listening to it. I was watching it and had my earpods in, and I wanted to wake up. I'm like, you gotta wake up, you gotta wake up. I held it together, but I was like, ooh, mister, wait till you see it. It was so good. I don't know what they did different. Like, did they get new writers? I mean, they just have been this season is way better than last season. Way better. And last season was good to me as well. So yeah, they did good, you guys. They can make it to that 5th season. They'll get syndicated syndication money. They can show reruns and stuff. Yeah, they heading in the right direction on this one. I hope the views. I haven't been watching to see what the views have been, but hopefully they're doing well. Anyway, you guys, the show. Let's get to it, shall we? All right, you guys. So the show started where it ended last week, which was with Grace telling Lady Mae about her son. She was like, "Well, can I see a picture of him?" And so she shows him a picture, and she says, "Well, when can I meet my new grandson?" Grace was like, as soon as I can find them. She hasn't been able to reach him in the last, I guess, few days. But she was just like, Mama, what we gonna do? Because I'm the moral one in the family. When people start finding out about this, they can't really get into that though, because here comes Charity, dumbass. Okay, she just sees them because they stop, like, oh God, here she comes. And she's like, what? All right. Lady Mae looks at her and says, this needs to stay in the family. And she's like, who I'ma tell? I said, oh, I guess I got an idea. So Grace goes on and tells Mae and Charity. And now she's got to try to find AJ so she can invite him over for dinner so he can meet the rest of his family tonight. Mae goes up and she's talking to Bishop, and she feels like a squirrel. Okay, that's what she says. I feel like a squirrel on the driest branch, on the furthest point of the branch, like it's about to break. Bishop is just sitting there listening to her. She says, are you listening, James? And he says, no. Back when Grace went to Chicago one time, she called him and she needed money, I pictured her proud and stubborn, but now I know she was pregnant and scared. Oh, if I would have just gone to Chicago that day. I said, Chicago? Now, did I miss something? I know I must be forgetting something, but I was just like, now, how we got from Arizona to Chicago? How we got from Chicago to Arizona? Anyway, you guys. So he's feeling bad that maybe he could have been there for Grace so that she wouldn't have felt like she had to give her baby up for adoption. Mae says, well, don't worry about it because we're going to bring the baby in and he going to be straight. Now, down at the church, Corinne is watching the video of the fight that Jacob was in, and he walks in. He was just like, he catches her. She tries to hide it away, but he was just like, what are they saying about me? She said, they calling you Pastor Holyfield. Oh, he's just like, great. Okay, where's Sidekick Phil? Oh, he around here somewhere. He says, well, tell him to call me when you get a chance. Okay. While he was in there talking to Corinne, child, that damn Charity, she couldn't even fucking wait a day. Oh, she is so excited to tell Sidekick Phil this latest bit of news. Okay, she got her tight dress on. She looked nice. Charity is a good looking girl. But I was just like, I was so fucking mad. I can't even explain to you how livid I was when I just was like, she's just going in there and she doesn't even feel any remorse. Like, she's so happy to finally bring him something. Okay, even that old evil ass Zora Momma felt a little bit of remorse, some sort of conflict when she signed them papers. And we're going to talk about that harlot in a little bit, you guys. But anyway, so she runs in there and he's just like, what's going on? She says, oh, wait till I tell you this one. Grace has a son. Okay. He says, really? Yes. She, went and had him at 18 and then she gave him up for adoption. And he was just like, okay, well, that's not that bad. I mean, it's not like she had an abortion. And she says, well, he was in jail and, you know, he's a felon and all of that. And Noah's the dad. He says, oh, well, that's why Noah was here visiting. And she was just like, yeah. And he was just like, but I just don't know how this is gonna, you know, this still doesn't seem like it's all that bad. It's not, you know, the silver bullet that she was hoping for. Do you think you can talk to him? And she says, well, I'm supposed to be meeting him tonight. You know, he's supposed to be meeting all of the family. So, you know, if she can sneak away some time to talk to him, maybe so. He says, good. And then all of a sudden, you know, she catches his eye. You know, he's like, oh, your hair looks good. Okay. And she's like, thank you. Just as smitten as the fucking day is long. Just as stupid. I was just like, she is a fucking child. She's an idiot, you guys. She is so starving for love from any old man that, I mean, I was just like, oh my God, Charity, you are so stupid. So anyway, she's going out of Sidekick Phil's office, and Jacob is walking down the hall, okay? Bumps into her. Hey, well, what's going on? You coming out of Sidekick Phil's office? You in trouble too? She was like, oh, yes. And he's like, well, what did you do? Okay. Oh, well, I told him that we weren't singing that horrible song anymore. And he says, oh, well, I'm sure that I just heard, you know, her co-director in there singing the song, practicing the song with a new arrangement. And she was just like, oh, okay, well, you know, I gotta go. She rushes off. She's real sketchy. Okay. And Jacob picks up on it. So he's kind of like, what's with that there? Okay. But he doesn't fool with it too much right now because he got to go in there and talk to Sidekick Phil. And Sidekick Phil tells him that, yeah, he saw the video and it's a problem. And he, of course, he's sitting down with his legs crossed, you know, like he's just judging Jacob. And Jacob was like, you do realize that this is my family's church, right? And Sidekick Phil was like, your family is the reason why this church is the way that it is now. Your family is the problem. He was like, okay, best watch your mouth, Sidekick Phil. If that video didn't tell you, I can whip plenty ass. Oh, Sidekick Phil's self-righteous. Well, Bob gonna have to let you go. Jacob looks at him. He's like, you want me to get him on the phone? And he says, you know what? Because I don't want to cause any problems for Grace. You know, no, you don't have to do that. But what you best do is get your ass on up out of here before I hurt you. And, you know, of course, Sidekick Phil, you know, when he gets up, you know, Jacob, there are some preacher's kids that are anointed, and then there are just some preacher's kids. Okay, like I said, best go. Get on somewhere, Sidekick Phil. I'm telling you, if this season don't end with somebody beating Sidekick Phil's ass, I know something. So Sidekick Phil leaves out the room, and now Jacob has to text, you know, Mrs. Wonderful, okay, Zora Momma, to let her know that he's just been fired. I said, oh, she gonna love that. Okay. Well, you know what? Zora Momma over there trying to take care of business herself. She's meeting with the white gentleman that bought the church, you know, in the name of hope and harmony and hope. And she wants to be reassured that nobody will find out that Harmony and Hope and Harmony, you know, bought that land from him. And he agrees that, you know, yeah, that probably would be a problem. You know, he doesn't want that to happen. She says, you know, she's just so desperate at this point. She doesn't say it, but she might as well. You know, her mother-in-law's a bitch, and they found this house that they really want to get, but they can't afford it. They don't have the money for it. You know, that sale was not enough. And now her dumbass husband then fucked around and lost both his jobs. Okay. So, yeah, it's a whole woe is me story there. And I'm sure Harmony and Hope and Harmony, he picks up on it, sees a weakness there, and he says, you know what, let me fix this for you. He writes a check out. I said, girl, now I know you ain't got much sense, but you got to know that anybody giving you money, that shit is just not coming out of the kindness of his heart. Okay, he writes her a check, and from her expression, it's obvious that it is a large amount. Okay, so, you know, she's just like, oh, you know, all right, so this should ensure that nobody will find out, right? And she says, yes, that's right. And he says, you know, and how about, you know, you and I see each other again? Okay, I said, there goes that price, girl. Are you selling? She says, well, let's see if the check clears, then maybe. I said, oh. Girl, you just sold your soul to the devil. Now, at first I thought it was bad with you signing that paperwork, but now you done took money from the motherfucker and a whole bunch of money? Girl, are you kidding me? So she goes back to the church, okay, going to see her husband, who happens to be sitting there looking at his phone at Tasha the Skank's phone number, okay, looking like he's kind of missing her. I said, oh, poor Jacob, okay, Tasha the Skank was the only one that really cared about your ass, okay. This one you got now, honey, is a trip. But whatever. She comes in the door and, hey, baby, he says, hey, I was just thinking about you. I said, I bet you were. She says, you know what? I scraped up some money and we put an offer in on the house. He was like, you scraped up some money? Yep, I scraped up some money. And all they can say is yes or no. So we might as well just wait. He says, okay, well, good. Let's celebrate. Okay, let's celebrate. Okay, well, they don't get to go celebrate because Jacob gets a call from Lady Mae and she lets him know that Grace has a son, that he needs to come over. Him and Zora Momma come over so that they can meet the new nephew that evening. Okay, so when he gets off the phone, he tells her, I think we're going to have to put that celebration on hold. She was like, why? And he says, well, because Grace has a son. And she was like, what does that even mean? He said, I don't even know. Okay. But we're going to go over there because my mama wants us to come over. And she was like, you know what, Jacob, I am your wife. Okay. Man up for a second and just support me for once. Okay. I want to go celebrate. And he was like, well, we ain't going to go fucking celebrate. I'm going over there to my mama and them's house. Are you coming? She said, do it look like I'm coming? I said, no, not right now, but maybe in a little while. Nasty ass bitch. And he's just like, fine, whatever. He leaves out. And she, of course, calls old Harmony and Hope and Harmony, because I guess she's going to take him up on the offer. Okay. So next we see her. She's with him. They've got wine in their hands, and she's telling them all about her dumbass husband. Not supportive, no backbone, listen to his mama, all this. She just frustrated. And the devil himself is sitting across from her. Oh, I know how that can be, But enough about your dumbass husband. Give me that wine glass. He sets it down. She says, what are you doing? He says, you know what I'm doing. I said, I know what you're doing. And the next thing we know, they kissing. And honey, he pick her up and lay her gently on that couch. And she's all in the throes of passion. And I said, girl, really? You are really stupid. You got your thick neck husband at home. You got a damn free place to live. And you so upset about trying to get out of there that you won't even fuck him. But you're going to mess with this white man that you know is going to be a problem. You know it. Why don't you know this? You are a principal of a school. And why the fuck you ain't never at work? Now, jumping over to Grace. Grace gets to work and she gets a phone call. Okay, that's right. It's AJ. You got a shaky voice. Okay, he was arrested. He needs her to come down to the station. So she goes on down to the station and she signs her name in, sits down with them before they sit down with the police detective. And he's like, I didn't do it, but you need to give me an alibi and say that I was with you from 9 till midnight or something like that last night. She was like, well, where were you? And he was like, well, I was at home, but there's no way for me to prove that. But so you have to say that I was with you. She was like, you got to promise me that you did not do this, AJ. And he says he promises that he didn't do it. They just trying to pin it on him. All right. So now she goes in there and she meets with the detective. Now you got to remember that the detectives at that police station are already kind of salty with Grace because she kind of got away with the Mac thing. That was another thing that they was never able to prove. So she sits down with the detective. He shows her video. It's clearly AJ, but they don't have a clear view of his face. But it's the same clothes, same build, same mannerisms, whatever. And he's cleaning off a pharmacy shelf of drugs. And, so he shows her that. And then he lets her know, like, you're the only one that can get him off the hook. So if you say that he was with you, he's free to go. Okay. And he says do you mind if I record this? She says, absolutely not. Go on and record myself. So he records this. He's talking to Pastor Grace Greenleaf. And so were you with your son, last night from 9 o'clock to midnight? And she says that she was. He says, now, lying to a detective under oath is a crime, right? And she says she knows that. I said, oh, Grace, I hope you know what you're doing, girl. Well, of course, the detective doesn't believe her, but what can he do? He doesn't have any proof right now, so he lets her go. Going to take AJ home, and let that be that for now. So anyway, she's out in the parking lot, and he's like thankful that she did that, and she was just like, you know what, we about to go to the house. You're going to sit down, talk with the family, have a nice long talk. He says, you're not going to tell them about what happened, are you? And she says, no, I'm not going to tell them this. But, yeah, we on our way over there now, okay? Straighten up and fly right. Because she's mad, okay? He's like, I didn't do it. And she says, I know you didn't, but I just lied under oath. So that is the problem. But we can't worry about that right now. So we go to the house, okay? And first people that she introduces them to is Lady Mae and Bishop. Oh, and Lady Mae is so gracious, okay? And Bishop is so happy to see him, you know. Oh, let me look at you, grandson. All right, gives her a hug. They genuinely look happy to meet him, okay? Bishop was just like, God, don't shake hands. Come bring it in, son. Grace looked like she want to vomit. All right. Lady Mae was like, I am going to take him down to meet his cousin, Zora, down in her little hippie quarters down by the lake. And I'm going to get to know all about him. All right. So she leaves with AJ. And, you know, Bishop was just like, well, how are you holding up? And she says it's a lot. Okay. Now she's not able to even talk to him much about it because there's a phone call that comes through. There's a detective out there that want to do some follow-up questions to Grace about her son. And, you know, Grace is looking like, fuck. And he is questioning her about sitting down and talking to AJ before he actually talked to her at the station. You know, they don't have audio, but the video is clear that he's asking her to do something. Okay, so did he ask you to lie for him? And she was just like, listen, obviously you guys don't have enough evidence. If you did, you would have arrested him by now. Okay, what it looks like to me is you're here trying to frame and pin a crime on a black man who was just innocently walking down the street minding his own business. Okay, if you don't have any more questions for me, I would like for you to go. So she takes the indignant route. All right. At the same time, we see Lady Mae. She finally gets AJ down there to Zora's place. And she was just like, you know, so happy to meet her cousin. Gives him a hug. She was just like, are you sure you want to be a part of the Greenleaf circus? Okay. Oh, the family dinners are something to die for. Wait till you see. You better buckle in and hold on for the ride, you know. And, you know, Lady Mae was laughing like, oh, yeah, she has a point there. I said, boy, does she. So Lady Mae was like, well, I'm going to leave you guys to talk. But in 10 minutes, you need to be up there. We're gonna have dinner. Okay, so she leaves and I'm thinking to myself like, child, they act like they just been knowing this boy for years. As soon as she walks out the door, Zora says, you want to get high? And he was like, I thought you were a Christian. She was like, I am a Christian, but I'm not crazy. I said, you are crazy, fool, if you think you're gonna get high before you go to dinner with your grandmother and grandfather. What is going on here, you guys? Anyway, Lady Mae goes back up to the house and she's coming in right on the tail end of the detective talking to Grace and Bishop. So she was like, what is going on here? Detective from Memphis says that he was just there trying to get some more questions out of Grace answered about your grandson. Okay, but he'll be in touch later. Yeah, go on. The Lady Mae was like, Grace, what are you not telling me now? So Grace tells Lady Mae what happened. And, you know, Lady Mae was just like, well, it's done. Okay, the church is kaput. Okay, all of my dreams and hopes of getting it back is dashed. All right, because this boy here is going to ruin everything. Grace says that he didn't do it. She was like, well, what if he confesses? She says, well, he won't confess because he didn't do it. She says, but he may confess. Okay, look at how he treats you. He asks you for money, you give it to him. When you don't give him money, you know, he act like he's threatening you. He's trying to extort you. You know, like Lady Mae is just like all of a sudden that real sweet granny that, you know, AJ just met out the window. And then in walks AJ and Zora. You know, they all laughing and happy. We about to have dinner. Lady Mae look at him and she says, son, I'm gonna need you to sit down right here. All right. Zora, give us some space. You know, Zora doesn't want to leave. She's like, please leave. Okay, Granny ain't playing today. AJ, did you steal those drugs? He says, do you know how crazy I would have to be to steal those drugs? I mean, I would get 20 to 30 years or something like that, and I'm not going back to prison. Okay? She says, you still didn't answer my question. Did you steal the drugs? I did answer your question. Okay? I'm not going back to jail. Okay? Lady Mae was like, listen here, boy, we ain't fixing to go down for you. Okay? Because Grace is like, mama, back off. She was like, listen, Grace, I know you all in love with the boy. That's your son. You just found out about him. You trying to be right, okay? But he not about to pull this whole family down. I won't let you get one stain on your dress behind his bullshit. Again, Grace warns that she needs to back off, and she was just like, you know what? This is the mission of this church. And, Grace was like, you mean to get it back at all costs? And she was like, yes, I mean, that was the plan from the beginning. Why all of a sudden you ain't with it? And Grace is like, this is my son, mama, and he didn't do it. And Bishop was like, son, for the sake of the woman that used to be my wife, who I still hold in the highest regard, would you please answer this question so we can move the fuck on, okay? Well, AJ is just looking, and then all of a sudden the door opens. Where is my nephew? It is that damn Charity, okay? Charity comes in with her balloon that says it's a boy, okay? Gives him a hug. Oh, my nephew. Oh, she loves him. Oh, she's so happy to meet him. Grace looks at the balloon and was like, it's a boy, Charity, really? She was like, well, I asked them if they had it's a man that my sister's been hiding away from the family for 25 years, but they didn't have it. I started cracking up. Even Zora had to hold it in. I said, Zora, when you came back in the room? She comes in, kind of interrupts it, but Lady May ain't playing, nigga. You gonna answer this question. Then, to add to the confusion, here comes Jacob. Where's this nephew of mine? Okay, comes in, gives him a hug, oh, there he is. Charity introduces him to him. And enough about all of that. That's your nephew, fine. That's Grace's son, fine. Okay? I still want to know if you did this. He just looking, not knowing what to say. She said, listen, baby, let me tell you something. I am a formidable person. I'm a formidable adversary. And I'm even a more formidable friend. She says, I am worth more than all of the riches. I am more reliable than the ground that you stand on. I don't care if you slept with murderers in prison. You have never met a more formidable person than me. So I'm just going to ask you one more time. Did you do it or not? And everybody's standing there looking. And he don't know what to say. So he just runs out. I said, See, the boy do know that he can't sit up there and lie. And I don't care what anybody say. You can be mad at Lady May all the fuck you want to. I was 100% with May right now. Okay? We ain't fixing to do this now. We're not just gonna bring this boy in here blind and he out here doing shit and we don't find out for sure if he did or didn't do it. So now he runs out. I said, now listen, if he was 15, maybe I would have gave him a pass on that. You 25 years old, goddamn it, you gonna answer this fucking question. But the fact that he didn't answer that question, that was it for me. I was like, yeah, he stole that shit. Okay. And then of course Grace is like, mama. She was like, don't even come at me with that shit. Okay, because you done went down there, you done lied to these people. All right. I don't even know what's gonna happen with the church. But as a Christian, you need to go down there and clear your name and say that you lied and change your story and tell the truth, because what gonna end up happening is Lady May can already see that this shit is gonna come back to bite Grace. Okay, so you need to go on and fix that. But Grace still believes that he didn't do it and she wants to stick up for him. So Lady May was like, fine. And so AJ runs home. He packing up his stuff. And then we see the big bag of drugs. Okay, so yes, he did steal the drugs. He's putting that in his backpack. And then Grace knocks on the door. Okay, and she was like, what are you doing? He is leaving. All right. And she was like, that's going to be a violation of your parole. Well, he don't care, but he got to go. He ain't going to be here. We're going to forget that they did all of this. He going to go on his way, tell Noah that's okay. He don't need to talk to Noah, all of this and all of that. Grace is really upset. Like, no, baby, don't you want a family? Okay. Like you haven't had it all this time. And he was like, well, not that family. Why? Because that family got your fucking number. Most notably May. So listen, I understand. I get it. The boy has been through a lot. He's got some addiction problems. I don't even know if he's on drugs or if he's gonna sell these drugs to try to make ends meet. I don't really know what his plan is. But you can't think that you just gonna be accepted into the family and you just got out of jail. It ain't like you like this upstanding citizen that's, been in college and got his degrees and got a good job and, is really trying to... You just got out of jail and you don't understand why people want to know if you fucking did this or not, especially when Grace has put her name on the line for you. What is so wrong with him? So that's why he couldn't couldn't say anything because he knew that he was going to lie and he was going to feel bad about that. Okay. So deep down inside, he does have some values. He does have some morals. You know, he is like, I know that you're a good person, Grace. You know, I believe, Aaron, you know, that you would help strangers and everything, but this ain't going to work. So he got to go. Okay. And Grace is so upset that she tells him to go on and take her car, because what else is he going to do? I said, Grace, you really not thinking straight. And he knows that he don't need to take her car, you know, so right when he's walking out the door, he throws her keys back to him. And, you know, he was just like, he about to bounce. Now, Zora, hot in the ass mama, she come home from a night of sinful, lustful, adulterous behavior with hope and harmony and hope. And she comes in the room and she feeling like, oh, I'm sure she's feeling like the hoe that she probably is. Jacob is sitting over in the corner. He says, where were you? And she says she had went and had drinks with one of her girls. And he was like, I've been sitting here waiting on you. I got to go to the church and take care of some things. She was like, well, you could have called me. He was like, oh, could I? Okay, the way you acted when I left out of here, I didn't feel like I could call you at all. So she says, Jacob, I just wanted to be happy. Okay, it was supposed to be a celebration. What, that you done took this money from Harmony and Hope, or Hope and Harmony, the devil himself that you just finished fucking? Shame on you. Then she had the nerve to say, and I spent most of the day hoping that you were there with me fucking him. I said, girl, you know you ought to be ashamed of yourself lying. He finds that hard to believe. Oh, well, what did I miss? He was like, I'll tell you tomorrow morning. And he leaves out, okay? So she goes in there and takes off her clothes and gets in the shower. I said, what you smell like? You smell like cum, semen, you nasty bitch, slobber. Man been kissing on your titties. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. Shame on you. And all this while her husband goes to the church. And, you know, I guess Jacob is not all that innocent, but you know what? Jacob ain't done nothing. I mean, every now and then you can think about somebody that you used to be interested in at one time or the other, right? You know, we know he's still thinking about Tasha the Skank, but he ain't fucked her. We see Charity. She goes to the church because now she got more information. All right. Sidekick Phil is sitting in there. He's writing probably for Bob. And she was like, oh, you need to stand up for this one. Okay. He says, what? I need you to stand up because when I give you this information that I just got, you're going to want to hug me. So he stands up. He says, okay, now what is it? Let me entertain the dummy. Okay, and this fool says, oh, Grace's son was just arrested for breaking into a pharmacy and stealing a whole bunch of drugs. Okay, and he says, okay, but that's still more about him than her. And she says, yeah, but Grace lied and said that she was with him when she wasn't. And he says, well, how do you know that? And she says, I just have a feeling. And he was like, well, we still don't have proof of that she lied. This fool pulls out a recording. She actually recorded the conversation that she actually lied about his alibi. And he was like, oh, this is it. Oh, he gives her a hug and she's just so happy. I said, girl, I don't know anybody that could stab their fucking family in the back like this with absolutely no second thought. You so wrapped up in getting your ass kissed. And I mean that literally. You so caught up with trying to be with this damn man that you just done threw your whole family, this church, the future, everything under the bus. You are an idiot of the grandest proportions. Okay? She's so excited, but then she says, oh, you know what? Sidekick Phil, whatever we have to do to get Grace out of there is fine, but can we not do it at the expense of my nephew? He's been through enough. How the fuck you think that all this is going to come out? And it's not going to also come out that he did steal the damn drugs and that she lied. If she lied, they're going to look into this and that he's not going to have an alibi and he is going to go back to jail. You are so dumb, you know. And he's like, oh, of course. Like this motherfucker got the scales of justice in his hands now. Like he's the one that's going to be the judge and jury. I said, you are dumb. You are stupid. Oh, my God. He's so happy, though, that he takes her in his arms and they're kissing. I was so mad. I wanted to fight that bitch. Charity needs to be fucked up. Back at the house, Bishop is in the bed with Lady May, you know, and he's consoling her, you know. Oh, James. Okay, she feels like everything is about to come crashing down. And he says, nope, that's not what it is. He says, as a matter of fact, there was a time when I thought I wasn't going to meet anybody, and I was told about a stranger that would come into my life. Okay, and the stranger came, and she was even more wonderful than I ever expected. Okay, when he says she, you know, Lady Mae starts to sit up like, oh, one of his hoes again. Who are you talking about, James? He says, who do you think? Okay. Oh, that's me. Oh, excuse me. Let me get comfortable again. And then he was just like, oh, I'm getting tired. I don't want to fall asleep. Okay, let me get up and go back to my bedroom. She says, oh, no, you can fall asleep. He says, are you sure? I was like, oh, nigga, you just slid back in, didn't you? She says, I'm perfectly sure. Okay, so he settles into the bed. You know, she turns around like she's about to go to sleep. And then she says, I said that you could go to sleep here. And he says, no, Lady Mae. If everything is about to come crashing down like you say, I want to enjoy this moment. All right. And she comes back over and she holds his hand and he consoles her. And I was like, y'all sure better enjoy it, because the shit is about to hit the fan. You know why? Because as Jacob, who was down at the church, remember, getting his stuff, packing up his office and leaving out, he's walking by Sidekick Phil's office and he hears him laughing. He goes and looks through the window. And they so fucking wrapped up and kissing each other that they don't even see this big nigga standing at the door that's all glass. Okay, just got the little frosting of the Harmony and Hope and Harmony logo. I mean, I guess it's the not Hope and Harmony, but the Calvary logo. But anyway, he sees them and he cannot believe his eyes. I said, you should believe your eyes. Okay, your sister, she ain't no good. And wait till you find out about your old hoe ass wife too. I cannot wait until Jacob finds out about that damn wife. He is gonna be so fucking fed up between Charity, between the wife selling that property and having this affair, because you know it's gonna come out. Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait. Like I said, Charity needs her ass beat. And I'd be fine if anybody did it. Oh, I was so done. I was outdone, you guys. Anyway, the episode, excellent. Very, 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 very good. What did you guys think? Hey, make sure that you rate, comment, and subscribe to this channel. I'm itsrox. The channel's for itsrox, and everything else I do will be in the bottom bar. All right. So I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, and I plan on doing the same. Till next time, Roxstars. Bye.